And California has the toughest gun laws in the country, but that doesn't stop this idiot.
CNN's Kyung Law spoke to Chris's father, who blames the government for a lack of gun control.
I can't tell you how angry I am. It's just awful. And no parent should have to go through this. No parent. To have a kid die, my kid died.
Nobody
because
died.
Nobody responded to what occurred at Sandy Hook. Those parents lost
What? Because nobody responded to the fake Sandy Hook shooting?
little kids. It's bad enough that I lost my 20-year-old, but I had 20 years with my son. That's all
Don't nobody talk like that.
I have.
Roger
We supposed to figure that out, not you. They lost their children, but I had 20 years with my child. Told y'all this stuff was fake.
I'm part of the Neighborhood Crime Watch. The way this works is you watch, I commit the crime.
Oh my God. No.
There's no talking. You just give me your watch and wallet now.
Here's my problem. You're black. I'm Navy Crane. I'm a big shot.
So am I.
If you kill me, the headline is going to be, Black Guy Kills White Big Shot. And that's the last thing we need when we're trying to elect an African American's president. All right. Watch. Wallet. Gun. Knee. Right foot. Left foot. Thank God for guns,
Keep a compact, tactical, H&K strapped in the hip. One in the chamber, full 10 in the clip. Free speech zones don't bother me a bit. Gun-free zones are a lottery you pick. They were invented for the express intent to let a shooting occur and exploit the event. Your leaders see gun murders as priceless. The credo is never ever waste a good crisis. Without a doubt they want to disarm the public. That's why I gotta piss on the subject. It can't happen, won't happen in a million years. Listen here, too many Americans love text. Even though they jam, but that's okay, cause the AK always stays next to the SK. The people know who creates all the melee. Gun shops out of stock, hey.
As a country, we have been through this too many times. Whether it's an elementary school in Newton or a shopping mall in Oregon or a temple in Wisconsin or a movie theater in Aurora, we've endured too many of these tragedies in the past few years.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
I'ma keep a close eye on you, now that I know your genuine agenda, to take my right to use force against any offender. People tend to forget where they've been to. Take a minute to look back and remember. Governments murdered over 60 million people who couldn't fire back because gun possession was illegal. Contemporary America's headed toward this. We're all certified gun owners are on our list and thrown into a database, so in the future they can track and trace. And if you refuse to surrender your Luger, they can smash your face. If that's the case, you better be ready to put them back in place. Your legislators are lacking the basic passion that their action takes. They know you love revolvers, they don't want you using them. Why your taxes been paying for Uzis in Jerusalem? I'll give it to you with a timeline. Fuck rumors. This is for your Dianne Feinsteins and Chuck Schumers.
In the average gun owner, and in large parts of America, guns are a way of life, but you know, the left wants to take that hunting rifle your Uncle Tommy gave you when you were 14. Ban assault weapons. Try and reinstate the assault weapons ban.
Part of it is seeing if we can get an assault weapons ban reintroduced.
Yeah, it's getting tough out there. Yeah, no doubt. I work in home invasions, mostly. Some murder, occasional rape, if she's hot, or really bitchy. And I'm a huge advocate of gun control, absolutely.
Things that we had postponed for too long, that were long-term, are now immediate and must be dealt with. And this crisis provides the opportunity for us, as I would say, to do things that you could not do before.
Listen, the fact is, allowing citizens to own guns creates a hostile work environment for me and my associates.
The president has made clear that he's not going to use this horrific event to push for new gun laws.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast. You're listening to Hardcore Harry, and I am Death to the New World Order. This is my first broadcast since the Santa Barbara shooting, or the Santa Barbara drive-by shooting, or whatever it is that the mainstream media wants to call it, as justification.
Just wanted to make this real short video. Just
that got ahead of us. As justification for disarming the public, and who pops his head up but that COINTEL operative of old, who I've been exposing for years, Dallasgoldbug, to say, oh, well, that father who's speaking, who I will put on screen here, that's actually Tim the Toolman Taylor from that old show, Home Improvement. That's Tim the Toolman Taylor. Now, some of you may have seen my old broadcast exposing Dallasgoldbug. Some of you may not have. So I want to break this down as briefly as I can. When the New World Order carries out a psychological operation, they obviously want the sheeple to believe the official story. Frankly, they don't care what the awakened believe, because they know nobody's going to believe you. And so they have operatives already in place to obfuscate the truth by putting out what I call truth or bait. Truth or bait. And an example of that, and really you got to be screwed in the head to buy into this stuff, just like the whole reptilian thing, you've got to have a screw loose to buy into that stuff. An example of that would be to look at this man and say, oh, well, that's Tim the Toolman Taylor. Or do you remember at, what was it? I can't even remember. Was it the LAX? No, it was the Boston bombing. They said, oh, well, that's Steven Spielberg. This is a tangent that they will try to get you to go off on in order to discredit yourself. In order to discredit yourself, and that's what Dallasgoldbug is doing, is trying to tell people this is Tim the Toolman Taylor, because once the unawakened hear you or him or anybody else say, oh, this is all staged because that's Tim the Toolman, I don't even know if I'm getting the name right, Taylor? Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement Show, they will automatically, because that's so ludicrous and so ridiculous, and it is a lie, they will revert to just blindly believing the official government story. And I'll give you another example of this, which is to say, oh, well, there were no planes on 9/11. There were no airplanes that hit the Twin Towers. It was a beam weapon. And people will say, okay, these people are nuts. I'll just go ahead and forget about it, because it obviously, people weren't imagining planes. And, I hate to say it, but that's one COINTEL seed that took root. But I don't want to go off on tangents. It's not Tim the Toolman Taylor. Frankly, I don't even know that many people have seen this video. I hope they haven't. But I want you and everyone to understand the tactic that they are using, which is to put out truth or bait for you to latch on to, think it's true, maybe even hope it's true, in order to only to find out later, oh, it's not true, and I already said this to how many people and discredited myself, and the people hearing it automatically ignore the entire issue or the entire story or the entire event, or just blindly believe whatever the government says because everybody else is crazy talking about that's Tim the Toolman Taylor. So, let's look at this disinformation being put out by Dallasgoldbug.
Just wanted to make this real short video just to get this out there and head it off before it starts getting big again. Night. This is, again, another actor. You know him from Tool Time Show. This is Al from Tool Time. I've written out a statement
that was prepared by the family. Our son Christopher Martinez and 6 others are dead.
Just listen to his voice.
Our family has a message for every parent.
Okay, so you see what Dallasgoldbug is doing here. It's not just Jordan Maxwell is Bill Cooper. Well, why is his voice different? You scumbag COINTEL operative. Oh, well, that's because he had a voice box implant. Okay, he's nuts. No, he's not. I'm sorry. See, I even said it, and a lot of people will say, he's nuts, he's crazy. That's an excuse. That is a way of discounting him and letting him live. Let his lies continue to spread. He should be terminated. His lies, his disinformation, any shred of credibility he might still have should be terminated. Just the same as all these disinformation sites that are flying under the radar as a parody site or a satire site. What we see specific in this video is this scumbag known as Dallasgoldbug, who runs a website called Wellaware1.com, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, is now stopping the video, telling you, listen to his voice. What do you think truth activists are doing? They're stopping the video. They're telling people, look at him. Look closely. Do you see tears? Do you see tears? Examine what he's saying. Why is he talking about Sandy Hook? His own son just died. Why is he talking about Sandy Hook that happened, 2 years ago? Why isn't he more concerned about his own son? Why isn't he grieving for his own son now? Why are there no tears in his eyes? Why is his overarching concern to take your gun? Didn't this just happen? In other words, truth activists are pointing out critical details in the video here. And so what's Dallasgoldbug do? He puts out a video pointing out critical details, but drawing all the wrong conclusions to throw you off of the path of the truth, to make you sound ridiculous or ludicrous when you talk about it, to make everybody who goes and watches this video after you told them about it go off the path, off on a tangent. That's the purpose of this video. That's the purpose of Dallasgoldbug. That's the purpose of Wellaware1. And you need to understand this disinformation tactic so you don't fall for it and you can inoculate other people against it. Because if we don't, next thing you know, everybody's going to be walking around talking about reptilians. Let's go on with this COINTEL operative's disinformation.
Parent out there. You don't think it'll happen to your child until it does.
Unbelievable. Okay, so there you have it. That's how we start the broadcast off tonight, exposing Dallasgoldbug. And I don't understand, honestly, how anybody who goes to Wellaware1.com, and he does remove things. Once he's exposed on something, that video will come down or that photo will come down, and then something else will go up. He's attacked me. He's attacked the Truther Girls. He's attacked Alex Jones. He's attacked a lot of people. A lot of people in the truth movement who started exposing him as COINTEL, he went after. We have to be aware of these things because you cannot navigate your way to the truth in a world of lies unless you understand those lies, who's putting them forward, so you can avoid those wrong turns in the rabbit hole. And there are a lot of people, maybe they, smoke one joint too many, but they're lost. They're stuck in some wrong turn in the rabbit hole at a dead end underground, smoking weed, trying to figure out how they got there, and looking for reptilians.